Two boys, two fathers, taken by violence. Two vows, made in blood. I will make them pay. One of them ends his story erasing 80% of humanity. The other ends his story kneeling in a wheat field, refusing to fight back while he's beaten half to death. Same wound, same fire. Two completely opposite men. This is Eren Yeager. This is Thorfin. And the space between where they started and where they ended is the entire lesson of this video. Act 1. The Same Wound. Eren is 10 years old when he watches a titan devour his mother. He doesn't get to save her. He gets to stand there screaming while Mikasa drags him away. That single memory plants one belief in him for life. The weak can't protect anything, not even their own memories. From that day, strength stops being a want. It becomes survival. Thorfin is barely older when his father, Thors, dies protecting him, cut down by aseglad right in front of his eyes. Thors spent his whole life running from violence, trying to build his son a world without it. The only inheritance Thorfin walks away with is a corpse, and a promise to repay it in blood. Same age, almost. Same trauma. Powerlessness. Watching a parent die right in front of them. Psychologists call this victimhood as an origin identity. The moment doesn't just hurt you, it becomes the lens you see the rest of your life through. Here's why this matters beyond the anime. This exact pattern is how real people get radicalized, and it's also how real people eventually find peace. The wound never decides the outcome. What you build on top of it does. Act 2. The Fork. For 11 years, Thorfin trains under the man who killed his father. One goal burned into him: beat aseglad in a fair duel and take his life. Every punch, every year of childhood he never gets back, points toward that single moment. Then aseglad is killed, not by Thorfin, by someone else. His revenge gets stolen from him in a single second. Strip away 11 years of purpose, and what's left? Nothing. Thorfin doesn't feel relief, he feels hollow. He becomes a slave on a farmland, works in silence, haunted every night by the faces of the people he's killed. Eren's fork looks nothing like that, because his revenge is never taken from him. Every enemy he defeats just reveals a bigger one behind it. Titans give way to Marley. Marley gives way to the entire outside world. And somewhere on that endless staircase, freedom quietly rewrites its own definition. It stops meaning walking beyond the walls. It starts meaning making sure nothing can ever threaten what's his again, even if erasing the threat means erasing millions of lives first. This is the textbook psychology of radicalization. Victimhood, then an us versus them worldview, then justifying harm because they do the same to us, then cutting off anyone who might challenge the plan. Eren pushes Armin and Mikasa away on purpose, not because he stops loving them, but because he knows they're the only two people who could actually stop him. Thorfin loses his purpose and is forced to sit inside the emptiness it leaves behind. Eren never loses his, and that's exactly what destroys him. Act 3. The Lesson. On that farmland, Thorfin meets Einar, another slave who lost his family to Viking raids, the same kind Thorfin used to lead. This is the turning point. Instead of running from that guilt, Thorfin sits inside it. He listens to Einar's pain without defending himself. He starts planting wheat instead of swinging a blade. Slowly, his father's old words start coming back to him. A true warrior doesn't need a sword. It peaks when King Canute's soldiers threaten the farm. The old Thorfin would have killed every one of them without blinking. This Thorfin stands there and lets himself be beaten half unconscious, refusing to fight, forcing out 4 words instead. I have no enemies. That's not weakness. That's a man choosing, with his entire body, to break a cycle he spent half his life feeding. Eren never gets a moment like that. He never gets an Einar. The people who could have pulled him back, Armin, Mikasa, he removes from his life on purpose, because some part of him already knows what they'd say if he let them get close enough. With no one to sit inside the guilt with him, Eren does the opposite. He intellectualizes it. He builds a philosophy strong enough to make genocide sound like mercy. If I destroy them first, the cycle finally ends. It's the same trap every real-world extremist has fallen into. convincing yourself the atrocity is actually the peace. Both of them are really asking one question: does destroying your enemy actually end the pain? Thorfinn's answer leads him to an unarmed wheat field. Eren's answer leads him to 2,000 titans and a graveyard the size of a planet. Here's the part that should actually unsettle you. Eren isn't wrong that he was in pain. And Thorfin isn't special because he suffered less. He didn't. He's different because in the one moment his wound could have decided who he becomes, he chose to decide anyway. That's the entire gap between them. Not the size of the trauma, not even the intensity of the rage. Just, who had someone to sit with them inside the wreckage, and who convinced himself he had to carry it completely alone. So here's the only question worth taking from this video. Whatever wound you're carrying right now, who's sitting with you inside it? If the honest answer is no one, that might be the first thing you need to fix before it quietly decides who you become. Same coin, two sides. Only one of them is still standing.